Carol Fay here, keeping the real in real estate, putting the EXP in expert. Today we're talking about forbearance or forgiveness. What you need to know now that those programs are ending. 2020 was crazy. It sent the world into a tailspin of unknown and uncertainty. And as we are now coming into the spring of 2022 and kind of coming out of that, there are a lot of things that happened during that pandemic that are now starting to come to an end. And one of those is the forbearance program with your mortgage companies. In an unprecedented effort to make sure Americans didn't lose their homes during these uncertain times, the government put forward a forbearance program. And what that meant was that consumers, you and I, were able to pick up the phone, contact our mortgage companies and say, hey, I want to take advantage of the forbearance program. And this was a way to pause your mortgage payments. And so there were a lot of things that happened at that time, but now that we're coming to an end of those programs and they're looking at everything, they're realizing that about 25% of the people who entered into the forbearance program exited out of the forbearance program having never taken advantage of it because they didn't lose their jobs, they didn't need it, but they still put that protection in place just to ensure them and their families were safe. That means that 75% of consumers who put the forbearance protection in place for them and their families took advantage of that program and they did not make their mortgage payments. There was an opportunity to go ahead and extend it. It went from, just a couple of months to 6 months to a year to 18 months. And now the final people are getting ready to start exiting out of that program. And so now everybody is getting a crash course in what does that mean, right? And so here's the thing. Forbearance did not mean forgiveness. It did not mean that you were never going to have to pay that money back. It simply meant that you were pausing your contractual responsibility to make those payments on a monthly basis during the time in which you were enrolled in that program. I actually did a video about this with one of the lenders back then when it first started rolling out. And we tried to inform people and let them know so that they could make the best possible decisions for them and their family that forbearance did not mean forgiveness and that there were going to be a lot of things that come with that. So now, here we are, it's spring 2022, and now they're trying to figure out how to help consumers who took advantage of the forbearance and paused their payments because now that the forbearance has ended, your mortgage payments are due. So if you took 6 months, a year, or 18 months, you are now financially responsible to pay back all of those months plus the current month right now. So let's say you did 12 months of forbearance and your mortgage payment is $1,000 a month and your program has just ended. Your mortgage company is now expecting you to pay them $13,000 because you have to pay this month and $1,000 for each of the months that you have missed. Well, needless to say, I don't know about you, but I certainly wouldn't have $13,000 to throw at that bill coming out of a pandemic where a lot of us were furloughed, laid off, reduced hours, all the stuff. And while the stimulus checks were nice, let's call a spade, they weren't paying our bills. So the big question now is, what can be done? How do you rectify things with your mortgage company, not lose your home, and at the same time, not put yourself in a financial hole that you can't get out of, right? So it seems as though the mortgage companies have come up with a couple of quick solutions. Now, keep in mind, this is going to vary company to company. I highly recommend that if you are in a situation where you have come out of that forbearance and that bill has come due, that you call your mortgage company. The worst thing you could do right now is ignore this. You need to call them, face it head on. They have people that are waiting for your calls, to my understanding, to try and figure out how to help you manage this issue, manage this bill, maintain your current payment, and keep your home. Okay, so while there are several options, apparently, to my understanding, that are going to be available to you, one of them is kind of like a repayment program, right? So you're going to still pay that $1,000 a month mortgage payment that you sent into the forbearance. But on top of that, you're going to pay a certain amount of money every month towards this other bill. for however long you and your mortgage company can figure that out, and then that'll go away. It does seem that one of the solutions on the table is where they take this money. Again, we said 13 months, so $13,000. They tie it in a little bow, and they sit it on the end of your mortgage. It's not going to collect any interest. You're not going to pay it back right now, but you are going to pay that money when it comes time to sell your home. This is something that there are people out there who are going to have to take advantage of that. I will just caution you to keep this in mind down the road. If you ever go to sell your house and you think your payoff is $100,000, round numbers, of course, well, actually, it's going to be $113,000 because you're still going to owe that money and it's going to come due. It's going to be it's called a cloud on your title. It's going to be like a quiet second mortgage that doesn't require you to make any payments. It's just going to sit there and it's going to wait, right? It's going to age like fine wine, and it's going to wait, but it is going to come due. And so you're going to want to be mindful that you've done this. Because, like I said, if you ever go to sell your house, this will come up. It 100% is going to come up. There's nobody that's going to forget about it. And so you're going to want to make sure that you tell the realtor that you're working with selling your home, hey, I took advantage of that forbearance program, and so I think there's something with that. That way you and your realtor can work together closely and make sure that you're getting an accurate payoff, which will give you an accurate assessment of what you will walk away from should you decide to sell your house. If there's going to be any money when it's all said and done. Does it even make sense to sell, with whatever that end chunk of money is? Does it make sense to sell right now? But the only way to know that is for you to come forward and tell your realtor this. And this is because, to my understanding, this additional money, this like quiet second mortgage, is not going to show on your mortgage statement. So your mortgage statement is going to continue to move forward, but it's not going to show an accurate payoff, because this money is not sitting in that balance on your mortgage statement. It's sitting all quietly in its little corner, minding its business until you go to sell your house. So I don't know who needed to hear this. I hope that it does help anybody who took advantage of the forbearance program understand that it was not forgiveness. There are solutions available to you, but you are going to have to take the steps to contact your mortgage company, go through the process with them, and figure out what works best for you. Again, this is going to vary from company to company. Not all companies are going to offer a little package at the end. Not all companies are going to offer any type of a payment program. Some companies are going to offer them different than others. Maybe it makes sense for you to refinance. I mean, that's a possibility too. Just keep in mind that has its own little set of things with it. So you're definitely going to want to talk to your mortgage company and maybe a local lender. Reach out to a local lender and see what are all of your options. That way you truly can make an informed decision about what is best for you and your family moving forward past the pandemic and the forbearance programs. My name is Carol Fay. I am a member of Team BC. I am a realtor here in the state of Delaware, and my team is coast to coast. If you have any referrals for me or anybody on my team, go ahead and contact me. We would love to assist you. If you're looking for information on joining EXP as a realtor, contact me. I can go over the business model with you, see if it makes any sense. There's a link down below if you're looking to purchase my cold calling organizer, and there's a couple of other links down there, including a consultation link if you would like to set a consultation with me for any reason. I really do appreciate you stopping by and watching. Wrong side again. Go hit that little subscribe button, and there's a little bell down there. If you hit it, you'll get notifications when I put up new content. Have a great day.